welcome back to another episode of I Am Kenny Biddle. I happen to be your gracious host, Kenny Biddle. So, an electroscope. I bet you're wondering, what the hell is that? Okay, and honestly, until about 2 weeks ago, I had no clue what it was either. But, this is one. Pretty much, what happened was that I received a book because I won a contest. Woohoo! There was a podcast that's out that I happened to see on Facebook mentioned and about this contest. You had to answer a bunch of questions. So I answered them, got it right, and I won a book. This book. It's a field guide to scientific paranormal research methods by Christina Barber. And I went through it. This is not a review of the book. I'll do that later in a separate video, but I got to a particular part that she starts talking about this because she, in her research into other devices, I guess non-electrical devices, she came across this thing. And one of the statements she made about it was that if we can prove that paranormal entities have an electrical charge, then we can begin to understand more about them and how they work. And that kind of struck a chord with me, because my first thought was, okay, well, you're kind of skipping a step or two, because nobody's proven that ghosts exist in the first place. So you really have to prove that they exist before you start trying to prove what they're made of, or what they interact with, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that got me interested. I'm like, all right, so why is she using this device? What is this device? And so I read a little bit more, and unfortunately there wasn't really much else that she mentions about it. It's a work in progress, and that she was doing more work and doing experiments with it, but she didn't want to post or publish anything until she was done, which is understandable. That's cool with me. It would have been nice to have a couple details, of what she's done so far, but I get her point of view. So, one of the other things is that she mentions that they have a YouTube channel, and it's something about a video of it. So, boom, I get into that. But before we get into the video, let me explain a little bit about this device here. Let me make sure I get no glare. Okay. Alright, so the electroscope was invented in 1748 by a guy named Jean-Antoine Nollet. I'm pretty sure I slaughtered that name. But he lived from 1700 to 1770. He was a clergyman and a physicist. Pretty cool. Let's see. He wrote a theory on electrical attraction and repulsion based on the existence of a continuous flow of electrical matter between charged bodies. He later became the first professor of experimental physics at the University of Paris. Pretty cool. Basically what it does and what it is and I got this from Size Supply Store online. It was like $34, I think. That includes shipping. But basically the description is this electroscope, and yeah, I'm reading off the screen here. This electroscope consists of a high-quality painted steel box with two transparent glass windows to shut out air currents. A plated metal support rod enters from the top through a polyethylene insulator. I hope I said that right. Which is this. A single piece of gold leaf hangs from the support rod. You can see it. There it is. It's kind of... There it is. Whee! Let me see where I lost my place. Single piece of gold leaf hangs from the support rod. This device is supplied complete with an interchangeable sphere or a flat top terminal conductor. So I can actually take this flat top off, and it's a ball. A ball. And basically, what do you use it for? So again, I'm going to cheat here. And according to Encyclopedia of Science, the electroscope is an instrument used, mainly historically, for the measurement of electrical charge or potential, based on one or two fine gold foils suspended vertically and free to deflect under electrostatic repulsion when an electric charge was applied. And it goes on to explain a little bit more. Basically, that they're not very accurate, because you can see for this one, it's got lines here. So when you put a charge on it and the gold leaf goes up, let me see. So, dang, I'm sucking at this. There we go. So when you put a charge on it, start putting a charge on it, it'll lift up and it'll go to one of these lines. So you can actually just, I guess, see where it goes. It doesn't tell you actually how much of a charge it's on it, at least not this model. From what I've read, there's other models that are vacuum sealed and they have actual accurate measurements, but I mean the glass on this comes out and I already kind of broke it because the gold leaf is very, 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 very thin. So like when you try to straighten it out, the gold leaf breaks off. Which is why there's actually a piece of tape holding it on now. It still works exactly how it was when I got it. There is no difference in it. Alright, so in simple terms, basically it gives you a simple visual demonstration of a static charge. It's a perfect addition to any like grade school science class. There's going to be a video, I'll put a link in for a video that really explains how this thing works, the actual process of not only getting the leaf to repel, but also how to transfer a charge onto it. It's pretty simple. It's only a couple-minute video, but it does the job. So back to the video. The YouTube video that Chris Barber made. It starts out at a house. They're at a barbecue, and they already have a charge on here. And Chris is telling us about, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually charge this up. Chris is telling us about how they had a charge on this device, like that. You see the gold leaf is actually sticking up. They had a charge like that, and they left the room to get something. They came back, and it had discharged. So to discharge it, all you need, dang that light, all you need to do is touch the top. Leaf goes down. Okay, so that's what happens under normal terms, normal conditions when a person does it. But according to her, they left the room, they came back, and the leaf was down. It was discharged. And they said they had something about activity in the corner of this room. And so they go over there, they have cell sensor EMF meters and 4 compasses that are on the floor. They're on the floor in this corner of this room, and there's a and I'm also going to put the link up so you can look at the video yourself. But in the corner of the room there's also a large potted plant. I mean it's huge. It's one of them ones that look like a mini tree. So they're in the corner and the EMF meters are going crazy, and the compasses, I don't see them doing anything, but they have them on the floor. Now, a word about the EMF meters that are being used. They're using the Ghost Hunter style cell sensors, which are the ones with the blinking lights up front. It's got the translucent white body to it. It's got an on-off switch in the center. It's got a volume control on it, but the scale only goes up to 5 milligauss. So it's 1 to 5 milligauss. Actually, it's like 0 to 5 milligauss. But that, honestly, and nothing against Christina or her team or anything like that, but they are the worst EMF meters you could probably use. I mean, just a hair worse than the K2 meters, because it only goes up to 5 milligauss. That's not accurate at all. You can easily pin that. Just going around the room here, going to the fan that's up here, where there it is. Just going to that, I was about 3 feet away from that, and I was picking up 5 milligauss. Wiring in the walls, I was about 1.5 feet away, and still picking it up, just 5 milligauss. And the computers, the air conditioner, stuff like that, I was a pretty good distance and easily picking that up. So I really, personally, I wouldn't use them, but this video is not about them, so let's move on. Okay, so she brought this over and put it on the floor, and it wasn't doing anything. It still had a charge on it. like this one does. And Christina, I hope, can I call her Chris? I don't know. I hope so. Chris sits on the floor, and the meters are still going off, and she picks it up, moves a chair out because she's sitting behind a table, and she keeps hitting the potted plant that's behind her. So she moves the chair out and picks this off the floor to put it on the chair, and it discharges. You see the leaf go down. What they didn't notice during the filming of the video was that the leaves hanging over from that potted plant that was behind her brushed the top of it, which normally should discharge it. And for me, I think it did, because it clearly touched the top. You have to watch the video a couple times because she's moving it up, the camera's moving up at the same time, and you just catch that these leaves brush the top of this thing right here. And in the video, yeah, she continues, and nobody notices it, so they're happy about it. You know, they're wondering. She does not say it's paranormal. I want to make that clear. At no time does she say it's paranormal. She says that something discharged it. She doesn't know what. So that kind of sparked me further into wanting to know what's going on. So I got on. I actually commented on the YouTube video, and somebody else had commented saying, you know, the leaves discharged it, and that's what happened. I'm paraphrasing. And Chris responded back to them, as well as me, saying that they went back to the house later and they tried it again, and they couldn't get that plant or the leaves to discharge the thing. I don't know what they did, because there's no footage of that. I did ask her if she had footage of them going back and retesting it. She's going to look for it. She thinks she has, but she's not sure. But for me, there should have been footage of that too, I think. Just because in the spirit of science, you're showing a result that's unexplained at the time, and if you're going to go back and replicate it, you should video it and put that up right with it, you know, so that you can compare and show either way, like yes it did or no it didn't. We still don't know what's going on. That's just my opinion. So what I did was, after conversing with Christina a few times, going back and forth, nicely, politely, it was a good conversation. She posted a list of things that they had used to see if they could discharge this device by just touching the top. Because again, she claimed that she went back to the house, same house, charged this up, got the leaf to touch the top, and it didn't do anything. So I took the list that she gave me, which consisted of, let me see, a cell phone, grass, a dead leaf, a live leaf, bugs, bottled water, and her cat, which apparently was not happy about taking part in the experiment. So I made a list, and I went through and I took some video of me doing the same thing, testing it with these different products, and seeing what would happen when we did it. Alright, so basically all I'm going to do is put a charge onto the electroscope, and then I'm going to use different objects, the ones on the list, and brush them across the top and see what happens. I'm going to see if it discharges or not, and we'll go from there. We'll see what the data tells us. I'm so excited. Are you? Okay, first thing we're going to do is test the ability of dead leaves and live leaves to discharge the electroscope. So we're going to charge it up. There you go, you see it. Boom, there we go. Hopefully you can see that. And we're going to first do a dead leaf. This is quite dead. It's brown and crumpling up. As you can see, yeah, it's quite dead. So we're just going to brush the top of it and pay attention to the leaf down there. And it went right down as soon as it touched it. It discharged it. Okay, so that's the way it's supposed to work. And now we're going to try live leaf. As I went outside and got some leaves. This should still be charged. There we go. Alright. It's always funny when it goes up. Alright, so we've got some live leaves, green, totally alive. We're going to brush it across the top. Totally discharged it. Just in case I didn't get the shot, I don't know until I look at it again. I'm going to do two more, with the one with the dead leaf and one with the live leaf, up close. So the camera's right on this area right here, so you can see what's going on. All right, hold on. Let's ready, go. Okay, here we go. Round two. Make sure we get a good charge on this stuff. There we go. Transfer charge. Boom. Now we can see the leaf has got a nice stiffy going on there. And we're going to take our dead leaf again. And we're just going to brush it along the top. You should be able to see the top plate here. Here we go. There we go. Totally discharged. Transfer another charge. Get it up again. We're going to take our potted weeds here. Live leaves on it. Live leaves. I can't talk. And here we go. Alright. And there we go. That's two of the items on the list. Okay. I'm going to take this bug that has been pretty much dying on my windowsill. And see, here's a bug. And just brush it along the top here. And there you have it. It took the charge out. Interesting. Let's do it again. Get a nice charge there. Okay. So we have the charge. You can see the leaf is up. I'm going to take the bug that I have in these tweezers here and just drop it onto the top here. Nothing. There. And see what happens. Nothing. Okay, next on our list, we're going to do grass. First, we're going to get the charge on there. Okay, and we're going to take some pieces of grass right here, okay, that I freshly plucked from outside, from my very own lawn, and we're going to brush them across the top. Alright, so that discharged it completely. Okay, next up, we're going to try a cell phone. Okay, got my cell phone here, and just going to touch it onto it. Interesting. Now that didn't really, it took a little bit down, but not much, and it's still a charge here, so it didn't discharge it. So my phone does not discharge it. I wonder if the case does. Well, that's interesting. It goes down, but charge comes back up. Not as high, but it still doesn't discharge it completely. Okay, next up on the list is bottled water. That's one of the things that was mentioned. So I already have put a charge on it. You can see the leaf reflecting the light pretty good. And we're just going to take a bottle of water and put it right on top. Brush it across. Here we go. Alright. Well, again, just like the phone, it dipped a little bit, but then came right back up. It's still got a full charge. Even if I just do the cap is even less of an effect on it. The whole bottle makes it dip a little bit, but it comes right back up. Cool. Alright, so in this last experiment that I'm doing, Chris had said in her message that they used a cat, much to the displeasure of the cat. They used to try to discharge the electroscope. So, I don't do cats. I'm allergic to them. They make it hard to breathe and make my eyes watery and itchy and make my day pretty much hell. So, my dog Chewy is going to substitute. We're going to see what happens when Chewy touches the top. Okay? Chewie. And yes, Chewie is named for Chewbacca. Alright, girl, you ready? So we're going to touch the top. Yeah, I know you don't want to. Let's see what happens. And it went off. Alright, so you can see from the experiments that I did, they were pretty simple. And basically I replicated what I think Christina Barber did with her experiments. I don't know the details of her experiments, so I could be totally wrong with what I was doing. I just went off of the stuff that she mentioned in the comments section under her original video, and I mean, just looking back at them, I did them a bunch of times just to make sure of what was going on, and to be honest, it was random. Not all of them were. Like for instance, the dead leaf, the live leaf, the grass, even the bug. Every time I used them, it went off. It went off. As long as I was touching it, though. As long as I had it, like the bug I had by the needle nose pliers, and then of course the plant here I was holding by the pot. But every time that caused it to discharge. Stuff like dropping the bug on it, or when I dropped the grass on it, when I didn't actually brush it, I just dropped it. It didn't always discharge it. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. When I used a bottle of water, didn't discharge it. It was just a plastic bottle, even with the water inside, it didn't make a difference. It took it down a little bit, but brought it back up. When I used my dog Chewy, it discharged it each and every time. So with that, it's good. The cell phone didn't work. You know, it didn't discharge the device. So, and I played with a lot of different things. I even played with a Harry Potter wand, and this was actually random too. Sometimes I would touch it and it would discharge. Other times I would touch it and it wouldn't. It would just go down a little bit and come back up. So I guess it kind of random. I mean, I guess it depends on the material that you're using, the environment that you're in, and whatever other environmental factors are involved. In fact, I did some filming outside. I actually originally wanted to do these outside, but it didn't work so well. So let me show you why. Okay, I was going to do these experiments out here, out in Tiki Land, but it's very hot and humid out today. So, if all the experiments that were done inside, you could see that I could rub these two materials together and get a charge and transfer it over here, and the leaf would stay up. It would hold the charge. Because I was in my office, which is air conditioned, so it was nice and cool, and it was dry and perfect conditions for static electricity. Out here though, with the humidity up, nothing's going to hold a charge out here. It disperses too easy, it discharges too easy because of the moisture in here. So I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to do the same thing I was doing inside. Get this rubbed up nice and good. I'll go over here, and you can see the gold leaf is not doing too well. It's not going up anywhere near as far. Let me get a closer look here. Okay, you can see it goes up a little bit, but you can see it's going down. It's actually going down as I'm holding it here. Let's get this again. See if I can transfer the charge. You can see it doesn't even hold it. As soon as that actually should be standing up if the conditions were right. Okay, so just showing you that, it demonstrates that environmental conditions do have an effect on how you use your equipment, especially with something like this, because static electricity in the air, depending on whether it's humid or dry, does have an effect. It's going to affect your instruments. So be aware of that, and that's it. Let's move inside and wrap this up. Alright, so you can see from that clip that environmental conditions do have a factor on using certain equipment, like an electroscope. So what are my final thoughts on this? Well, I saw a video that kind of did an experiment. It wasn't a controlled experiment, but they were using this device, and according to them, it discharged without a reason. Okay, I did my experiments. I replicated the conditions as best I could. They were similar conditions, and I came to a different conclusion, that the houseplant that was behind Christina was the one that set it off, that discharged it, because the leaves did touch the plate, according to the video. And what I found was that that would discharge it. I talked to Mitch, my friend Mitch, who's a biologist, and I talked to a physics guy at work, one of our engineers. Both supported that claim. According to science and according to what is supposed to happen, that is what's supposed to happen. Now, Christina had mentioned that she did go back and she tried to replicate what was going on, and couldn't get the plant to discharge this device. I don't know what was going on. I didn't see any footage from there. She said she has some. She was going to try and find it. So it would be great to see it. I would love to see what was going on there. But yeah, I have to think that something wasn't right. Something wasn't going right in that experiment, that replication there, because it should have discharged. Now, this is not to say that this video, this whole thing I just did, was a hey, haha, I proved you wrong kind of thing. It wasn't like that. This is what science is about. It's part of what science is about. It's somebody did an experiment, they got results, and they posted it. I saw it, and I want to see if their results are the same that I get as my results. I think I said that right. So I replicated under similar conditions. I replicated, and I got different results. So now what's going to happen is that we're going to compare notes again. I put this out there because this is what I do. Again, it's not an in-your-face or, to start a fight or anything. This is just what I do. I do this shit on video. So hopefully we're going to talk more, figure out some details, do experiments maybe together and figure it out. But as far as I'm concerned, this was not paranormal. She doesn't claim it was paranormal either. I don't think it's a mystery. I don't think it was unexplained. I think it has a plausible explanation, and that's it. So I hope you had fun watching it. It was a different device. Like I said, I didn't know about this until 2 weeks ago. It's been fun. Like, I've been having fun playing with this, charging it up, and just going around the house and seeing what discharges it and playing with it. As far as a ghost hunting tool or paranormal investigation tool, I don't see a reason to use this. I really don't. It's not accurate. There is no scale. I mean, it just has lines there, so you can't tell how much of a charge it has. There's so much that can go on. Like I said, environmental conditions. You could literally charge this up, walk out of the room and walk back in, and by the time you get back there, the leaf would be down, depending on the conditions. It's right now it's cool and dry in here. That's why it was working so good. That's why I did most of the experiments in here. But as you saw in the little clip at the end there, when I went outside, it was hot, and I couldn't do any experiments. I tried to do it, but by the time I charged this and lifted it like that to get to a tree branch that was hanging down, it had already discharged. So, I mean, I can go outside this office here, and it's hot and humid outside because we didn't turn the air on out in the hallway there. So, if I tried this out there, I would probably get this to discharge easy. And that's it. That's all I really have to say about this. There's no other, yeah, it's late. I'm tired. There's no other reason I could see for really using this. If you had something that was more accurate and actually somehow was connected to a data logger, then maybe it would be cool to leave out in a place and see if it charges and discharges on its own. That would be cool. I mean, I would love for this leaf to just go up and have an erection by itself, you know? That would be pretty cool to see. I don't think it will. But, yeah. I think that's all I have to say. I think I'm done. And maybe I'll do another one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, you know, learned about a new device, learned a little bit about using it. If you have any complaints or comments, if you have bad comments, please contact Lou Castile in California. He is also my co-host of Geeks and Ghosts, our weekly podcast where we talk about pretty much everything and anything that we want to. And I have a bunch of things coming up. Can I tell you about them? I'm going to tell you about them. Let's see. I'm going to be on Paranormal Kool-Aid podcast, July 8th. I'm going to be at the Pennhurst Paracon in the Pennhurst place, July 25th. That should be fun. That's a conference. August 8th, I'm going to be at Dover Comic-Con. I'm going to actually judge a costume contest for the cosplay stuff. That's going to be awesome. And it's a free event, so if you can make it, that'd be awesome. September 12th, I'll be in Detroit for a Paracon at historic Fort Wayne. Ooh, in Detroit, Michigan. That's going to be fun. September 19th, Paranormal Journeys Expo. That's always fun. Did that 2 years in a row, and always have a good time there. September 26th, I'll be at the Alpatwitch Festival. I'm not sure where that is. I think it's Alpatwitch. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. But that's like a short version of Bigfoot that they see out there, and they have a festival around it, and I'll be out there speaking about photography along with Sharon Hill. Ooh. And the Detroit thing, I'll be out there with Anna Hill. So lots going on, and there's more stuff coming. And that's it. I think I'm done. Yeah. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.